This video is sponsored by Skillshare.
From Arcane Studios, the developers who brought you BioShock in London and BioShock in Space, comes BioShock in the 60s, baby, yeah! You don't know what to... If you loved the serious tone and heavy moral choices of Dishonored or Prey, then you're gonna be cautiously optimistic about the groovy humor, out-of-sight multiplayer, and bitchin' cosmetics of Deathloop.
Oh my god, I love your outfit.
Shut up, baby, I know it.
Despite how many premieres, reveals, deep dives, and walkthrough trailers that Dinky Baklava bought ad space for at live events, it seems like gamers just wanted news about Elden Ring and still weren't really sure what Deathloop even was. Turns out, Deathloop is exactly what it sounds like. First, they play commercials for it on loop.
Hi.
Followed by the death of everyone's interest in purchasing Deathloop. That is until IGN gave it a perfect 10 out of 10.
You don't know what to...
But does Deathloop actually deserve such a coveted throne amongst the other kings of gaming? Or has 2021 been the worst year in video game history and reviewers are just happy to be working again? To answer those questions, you've come to the wrong place because this isn't a review of Deathloop. This is a review of what it's like to live with someone who plays Deathloop, as they slowly realize it's like a solid 8 at best. So, to defend consumers and actual masterpieces everywhere,
I am going to create an environment that is so toxic.
This is
Deathloop has 2 playable characters for the price of 1. Colt, a wisecracking assassin, and Juliana, a wisecracking assassin with boobs. Let's spend $60 and check out some gameplay as the boob one.
2 very boring minutes later. 5 minutes later. 3 hours later.
Can you move it along? I'm all out of time cards.
Okay, let's check out some gameplay as Colt. Colt is stuck in the 3rd time loop plot this year alone, and honestly, game devs, I'm running out of Groundhog Day memes, so here's Bill Murray driving this cliche off a cliff.
Yes, it's true. This man has no dick.
The requirement for breaking the loop and beating the game sounds like a deviously complex gameplay mechanic in all the marketing. Colt has to kill 8 dangerous and unique supervillains before the day resets. And while that is technically true, it's really just a deviously simple narrative mechanic. There's only one solution to this convoluted yet surprisingly linear puzzle.
Really?
Yeah, there's one final path.
Dude, that's fine.
Depriving the player of any critical thinking or creative freedom as the developers solve it for them by gradually handing out each piece of the jigsaw and telling them exactly where it goes over and over until it becomes the picture of a thanks for playing screen.
Thank you for being a part of this with us. We hope you enjoy everything Black Reef has to offer. Now, one final time, here's a trailer for Deathloop.
Maybe it's just me, but I was under the impression that gunning down the 8 visionaries was gonna be 50% figuring out the optimal order of Mega Man bosses, 50% figuring out the elaborate executions of Hitman targets, and therefore I would be 100% involved in helping my boyfriend figure out Deathloop. But in the end, not even he felt very involved in figuring out Deathloop, and watching him do it was like watching this. And I'd say, hey, you gonna kill those bad guys soon?
What does it look like I'm doing?
Don't get me wrong, it's not objectively bad game design if the whole objective of a game is designed in the narrative structure. Unfortunately, in Deathloop, the structure supporting its narrative is a stack of documents, audio logs, and emails 100 stories high with as many stories to tell. There's so much of this stuff littering the environment that one room might contain multiple pages of essential reading to do between multiple recordings of essential listening to do between multiple radio calls of essential conversations to have, each of which are probably unrelated to the mission you're currently on, and you're expected to retain it all without even being able to pause.
Oh, they can see you when you're reading stuff. Whoa.
So after the 10th time an enemy catches Colt in a menu screen, snooping through a fistful of sticky notes, still mumbling to himself about what he found on a Commodore 64 down the hall while a talk boy reveals pertinent information and a yakback drops the F-bomb, the player starts to rapidly open and close these story tidbits purely out of necessity, then just walk away like,
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes.
Now that we're a bit underwhelmed by how the visionaries work and a bit overwhelmed by how the writing is delivered, let's take a closer look at Deathloop's most whelming attraction.
Look at this butthole.
Whoa, the fireworks. Starting with how much fun my boyfriend is having as Juliana. Hey, how's it going over there in matchmaking? Still searching for a game, huh? Just keep filling with your sniper, I guess. And hold up a minute. 3, 2, 1.
Here we go. There won't be any fireworks.
Okay, Colt's gameplay though is pretty rip and tear.
I'm gonna
Nice.
send it.
Oh.
Stop! I was about to do a cool slide.
And I think Arcane Studios would set more realistic expectations and sell more copies if they uploaded our Deathloop trailer.
Can I kick it? 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 Can I kick it?
It's a good game, but it's not Red Dead Redemption 2 good, are you silly? We genuinely enjoyed Deathloop, I promise. But it's not as enjoyable as Breath of the Wild, what's the matter with you? It's even one of the coolest games my boyfriend has played this year. But he also played God of War again this year, and how dare you stand where he stood? Get out of here, Deathloop! You're not even the best drummer in the Beatles. But you know who could be the best drummer in the Beatles? You, if you sign up for Skillshare. Even though we had to postpone our Lord of the Rings Part 2 video, we still never forget about Second Breakfast in this house. I loved Alana Karp's class Knife Skills, a mini class to chop like a chef because I don't know what I was chopping like, but it wasn't a chef. Luckily for people like me, Skillshare has thousands of classes, from music to web development and everything in between. Skillshare is curated specifically for learning. That means no ads and new premium classes all the time. The first 1,000 people to use the link in our description will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare Premium, so you can take the first step to accomplishing your goals and exploring your creativity. We're so thankful for sponsors like Skillshare because otherwise it would be rather detrimental when big meanies claim our entire videos. Thanks Skillshare, and thank you for watching our ad reads. Alright you guys, we're sorry it's been so long since our last upload. Our Lord of the Rings Part 2 script is done, but we decided to switch gears after someone else decided to take all of the revenue from the first video. Special shout out to everyone on Patreon for supporting us. We don't want to be limited creatively, and your help gives us some peace of mind when we review heavily copyrighted 20-year-old movies. Also, we've been very busy upgrading girlfriend reviews behind the scenes, which we are very excited to tell you about in a behind the scenes video coming soon. Alright, thanks again, bye!